Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're exploring the bustling, completely hidden world right inside your stomach. You know, we usually think of our bodies as, well, purely human. But what if I told you that right now, you are walking around hosting a massive, highly efficient factory, and get this, it holds the keys to your mood, your immune system, and literally your overall health?
Let's kick things off with a question that might just challenge your whole sense of identity. Who is actually in charge of your body? Most of us would instantly say it's our brain, right? Or maybe our DNA. But as we unpack the science in this explainer, you're going to see that the real bosses might actually be microscopic.
Just looking at the genetic math, the sheer scale is honestly staggering. Genetically speaking, you are over 99% microbial. Think about that. The human genome has around 23,000 genes, but the microbes living inside you, they pack over 3 million genes. So they are vastly outnumbering our own human cellular instructions.
All these microbes add up to roughly 40 trillion individual bacteria hanging out in your gut. If you gathered them all up, they'd weigh about 0.2 kilograms. So yeah, physically, incredibly light. But because of their massive numbers, they have a tremendously heavy influence on absolutely everything your body does. Now, before we get too deep, let's clear up a super common misconception and separate the physical bugs from their genetic blueprints. You hear these two words thrown around a lot. Microbiota refers to the physical organisms themselves, the bacteria, viruses, fungi, and single-celled organisms setting up shop inside you. The microbiome, though, is the entire collection of genes inside those cells. Today, we're going to focus heavily on how we treat that physical workforce. Okay, moving into part 1, inside the digestion factory. Let's set up a really simple way to visualize how this massive ecosystem actually functions. Instead of just thinking of your gut as an organ, imagine it as a dynamic, highly structured workplace. As researchers have brilliantly put it, your digestive system is a factory, and your microbes are its workers. Your body takes in raw materials, the food you eat, and these trillions of workers are tasked with processing the whole shebang. They convert that raw material into vital fuel, hormones that regulate your body, and the neurotransmitters that power your brain. Ultimately, what you get out of this factory depends entirely on what you put into it. So what exactly are these workers doing all day? Well, their job description is pretty wild. They act as your internal security guards, actively keeping bad bacteria in check so they can't multiply. They train your immune system to tell friend from foe. They break down toxic compounds. And they do the heavy lifting of digesting tough foods that our human cells just can't handle alone. Oh, and they even synthesize essential vitamins for us, literally working nonstop to keep your body running efficiently. Which brings us to part 2, when the factory breaks down. Because what happens when things go south and the working conditions in this factory start to deteriorate? Just like any workplace, if the environment gets hostile, productivity plummets. Let's look at the usual suspects here. Things like low-fiber, highly processed diets, antibiotics, medications, everyday stress, and sleep deprivation can severely disrupt your healthy flora. Even the natural aging process or surgeries that alter your anatomy can throw a wrench in the gears. When these disruptors hit, your workforce gets depleted, bad bacteria seize the opportunity, and your best workers essentially go on strike. And here is the absolutely crucial part. If you starve these workers of their preferred fuel, which is dietary fiber, they don't just quietly quit. Hungry bacteria go rogue. Without fiber from your food, they will literally turn around and start feeding on the factory's mucus lining. They will cannibalize your own intestinal barrier just to survive. Wild, right? To see how fast this happens in the real world, let's look at a pretty fascinating diet swap study. Scientists took a group of rural South Africans who ate a traditional high-fiber diet and a group of African Americans eating a Western high-fat, high-meat diet and completely swapped their meals. The results were honestly staggering. After just 2 short weeks on that low-fiber Western diet, the rural African group's factory broke down entirely, leading to dangerous colon inflammation and a drop in a crucial compound called butyrate. On the flip side, the group that switched to the high-fiber diet saw immediate decreases in inflammation and a boost in healthy short-chain fatty acids. Just 2 weeks was all it took to completely overhaul the factory floor. All right, part 3, fueling a healthy gut. Clearly, we need to treat our workforce a whole lot better to prevent these painful breakdowns. Let's look at how we can properly feed our microscopic staff. Check out this step-by-step biological assembly line.
You eat dietary fiber, your bacteria digest that fiber. In return, they produce short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, and it's those fatty acids that work the real magic, nourishing your gut barrier and significantly dropping your cancer risk. This right here is why fiber is literally the absolute best fuel you can provide.
Now, if you really want to offer premium perks to your workers, look at this lineup. Polyphenols from fruits, veggies, tea, coffee, red wine, and dark chocolate. Yes, dark chocolate are fantastic. Then you've got sturdy starches from potatoes, rice, and legumes, and fresh juices like aloe vera, apple, or vegetable juice. Providing these drastically increases the richness and diversity of your microscopic workforce. But hey, a factory doesn't just need fuel, it needs regular maintenance too. Hydrate with 8 glasses of water daily to keep things flushed. Cleanse the system with warm water and rock salt, or some lemon and honey. You can soothe things using ginger, peppermint, and hing, also known as asafoetida. And finally, rest. Occasional fasting, maybe 1 to 2 days a month, gives your hardworking digestive tract a much-needed break to repair itself. Moving on to part 4, hiring new helpful workers. Sometimes maintenance just isn't enough. If you've been on antibiotics or had a rough diet for years, your worker population might simply be too low. You've got to bring in fresh staff. This is where probiotics and fermented foods come to the rescue. We're talking kimchi, sauerkraut, tempeh, kombucha, yogurt, and apple cider vinegar. These foods act as direct probiotics, meaning they introduce vibrant, new, and super helpful bacteria straight onto the factory floor to boost productivity.
But quick warning here, not all applicants are qualified. You've got to watch out for commercial yogurt brands that are practically desserts, completely loaded with sugar and entirely lacking in live active bacteria. Those sugary foods will actually decrease your workforce diversity by feeding the bad guys.
And remember, preparation matters immensely. You can take a perfectly healthy vegetable and totally destroy its fiber content by deep frying it. Opt for lightly steamed, sautéed, or raw vegetables. Those provide much better fuel and retain the fiber your workers desperately need.
When you get all of this dialed in, the output of a thriving factory is a real game changer. We're talking less anxiety and a noticeably improved mood. Your cravings can actually shift from sugary junk to healthy proteins. Amazingly, some bacteria can even break down lactate to speed up your gym recovery and boost your overall athletic performance.
So it really all comes down to this. You are the CEO of this incredible, vast ecosystem inside your belly. You have the absolute power to fire up those bacteria and completely change your daily physical and emotional experiences. The only question left is, what will you feed your workforce today?